In this video, I'm going to show you how to make beautiful signs featuring your child's name, which are perfect to hang above cribs or in their bedrooms. The first thing you need to do is get on a computer and pick out the font and style you like, and then print it the same size that you'd like your sign to be. I use the tile feature in Microsoft Word to print it over multiple sheets of paper. Once you've done that, you'll be able to transfer it to plywood. Be sure to use a relatively thin sheet of high-quality plywood that does not have any voids. To transfer your design from printer paper to plywood, you have two options. The first and easiest option is to use graphite paper. Simply tape it to the back of your printer paper and then trace your design onto the plywood. If you don't have graphite paper, you can accomplish the same thing by coloring the back of your page thoroughly with a lead pencil. Then trace your design the same as if you were using graphite paper. I like to go over it one more time with a pen before getting out my scroll saw. Easier to see. For intricate detailed cutting work like this, you pretty much need a scroll saw. I've gotten by using a bandsaw or a jigsaw for simpler projects, but a scroll saw will be able to make turns you could only dream about with other tools. If you don't have one, you can usually pick them up used for around $60, and I'll place a link to a new one I recommend in the description of this video. Although this Craftsman saw has done me well, I've stopped buying Craftsman products because they tend to be overpriced for their quality these days, and with Sears disappearing, it's not as easy to get tools warranty. It's up to you, but you'll notice that I perform all of my cuts using about a 30-degree angle. At this point, it's simply the tedious matter of cutting out my design, always keeping that angle in mind and how it will affect the finished product. I cut one direction, and then I cut the other by changing the angle of the blade to 30 degrees in the other direction. So I have it all cut out, at least the outside portions of it. Now what I need to do is cut out these holes. So what first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to get out a drill and I'm going to drill a hole, and that'll allow me to have a place to start in each one of these. After I have holes drilled in each one of these, then I'm going to take the blade off of my saw, insert it through the hole, and then set it up, and I'll cut out the insides of each one of those. Now I'll remove the blade, move it on to the next spot. Now that I have this all cut out, I'm just going to take a file set and I'm going to fix any little imperfections that I see that I don't like. Let's see, like right here I have a little spot where I didn't quite cut it out the way I wanted. So I'm just going to kind of get that moved over, and then I'll take a file here and just kind of smooth that out. The reason that spot didn't get cut out was because of this. If you can see it, my wood splintered. So I'll show you in just a little bit how I'm going to fix that imperfection using epoxy. It's going to take a little bit of tape. See if I can just kind of get it here, essentially just blocking it from running out the sides on me when I try to fix this. So I'm going to use a two-part epoxy. You can buy this in much smaller quantities at your local store. I happen to do a lot of woodworking, and I recently built a boat, and so I have these big jugs of epoxy left over, and so that's what I'm going to use. I'm also going to use wood flour, and all wood flour is it's like a sawdust. So you could get by without this if you need to, or you could even just use some of, if there's any sawdust left over from any sawing that you did to make your sign, you could use that, but I'm going to thicken my epoxy using this wood flour. So you mix epoxy 2 parts resin to 1 part hardener. Just going to kind of estimate it here. Now I'm going to mix in a little bit of this wood flour. Add that in. You can see it. And now I just stir it all around together. Now you can see how it's nice and thick, kind of looks woody. And looks like I got more than I need, so I'm just gonna fill this crack with it. Best I can. It kind of smoothed out right there. After it dries, which will take about a day, maybe a little less, I'm just gonna sand over that. Then I'll just continue sanding the rest of it until I'm happy, and apply some paint. I like to pick out a store-bought picture and stick these nameplates to it using some 3M double-sided adhesive pads, which I think gives things a nice custom look. But you can hang these directly on the walls. We just bought 90 acres that we hope to turn into our dream farm, and we plan to post not only the how-tos that we learn along the way, but also the adventure of raising our 4 kids on a dirt road. I hope this video helped inspire you, so please help our little family by clicking that subscribe button. I appreciate you.